Alright everybody, so today I have a list right here in front of me that I wrote down to remember exactly what I'm going to talk about. And the first one, in really sloppy, terrible handwriting, says community. So I'm going to talk about, in the community there has been, in the Counter-Strike community, let's not get too far here, there has been a major issue with the registration of hit registration. So let's say I take an op, and I try to shoot somebody across the map. I place my crosshairs right on them while standing still, fire the shot, but I get no response, and that person is still perfectly alright, and then I get headshotted from around the corner. This is a server-side issue, so even if you see blood after you're shot, that's client-side. So it's really, in tick rate itself, there are two kinds of servers. The competitive Counter-Strike matchmaking servers are 64 tick. Why do I have a pen in my... I really don't know what to do with my hands yet, so I'm just gonna improvise, alright? The servers themselves are a 64 tick, which means that the server is updating itself and sending it to the client 64 times a second. Is what the pros play on if you watch streams is what are the pros? 128 tick, and that is significantly better because the server is actually updating itself 2 times faster, which will give you a greater amount of registration. So it'll pretty much solve your problem. But the thing is let me just check off my list here. The thing is that there are not a lot of options for 128 tick servers. So it's pretty much either you play some random community server that's 128 tick, or yeah, you have to pay $7 for the SCA, which, you know, that'll give you, I think, matchmaking and 128 tick. But there is another option. Let me just pull it up here. And it is called AltPug. It's a server, and all the servers are 128 tick. And you have to download the client launch, and as you can see here, I'll see if I can show you the client. Yeah. So it's 128 tick, and yeah, it's actually free, which I think is really nice about it. But the only problem that I had with it is that it doesn't have a rank. So I mean, you just kind of play. You don't really play with anybody of your skill level. But after reading their Twitter page or their Twitter, let's call it a page, the Twitter page. They didn't really have any sort of competitive thing, but it seemed like they were going to come out with one, and that's what I think this might be. The premium required, but obviously you can go to the page right here, and where does it say it? They're not offering premium yet. They're just sort of developing it. I think these are codes given out to like streamers and stuff. Not really sure about that, but yeah. So that's pretty much it. Oh, what have I personally noticed with Pug 128 versus 64 tick competitive? I noticed that my sprays show up a lot more. My spray patterns are pretty much spot on now. Everything is good in that aspect. It seems like I'm hitting a lot more of my shots now. So yeah, I definitely can tell a difference, especially like I already mentioned this, but I'm just going to elaborate on it. I'm going to repeat myself, which I try not to do a lot. The spray patterns are actually, the spray patterns themselves, but when you spray, a lot more of the shots will register, whereas on 64 tick, a lot of the times about half the shots register, which I think is really nice. So that's all I have for you. You can just, this is altpug.com. You can just go on to it and pretty much make an account. It took me about 5 minutes. It's very easy. Lately, this website seems like it's having some trouble with its domain and everything, because yesterday I believe it was down when I tried it. So I got this video out a day later, which I didn't want to. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It also tracks your stats, which I think is nice. I've been talking for too long, and I'm officially going to end this video. So everybody, thank you for watching. That is my sort of informational video on